Hey, Martha. Let me know if you can hear me. And how I look. Thanks. I'm gonna wait a little bit for some people to get on. Yay! Okay, glad you can hear me. Can you hear the sounds that I have playing in the background? Cool. I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes. We have 5. If you guys are just jumping on, just say hi so I know you're here, so I can see who's on. I see we have 5. If you guys are just getting on, if you want to go ahead and share this video, that way more people can see it, or you can start a watch party, however you want to do it. But if you want to share it to your Facebook page, that way more people can see it. Just gonna wait a few more minutes so more people can get on, and then I'll get started. I have a lot of stuff to show you guys. I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys. And I think you're gonna like it. So let's see if we can get about 3 or 4 more people on. Go ahead and share this video to your page, and then we'll get started in a few minutes. Hey, Daisy. Just get a drink. Hey, Sam. Hey, Mel. All right, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully you guys have shared this to your page or started some kind of a watch party. I have some good information for you guys today, especially with everything that's been going on with the coronavirus and stuff like that. I think that what you guys are gonna find out today is gonna be really helpful to you. So let me just pull up, I do have some notes just so I can make sure that I don't forget anything. Let me pull up my notes and we'll get started. Okay. So first I just want to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. Some of you already do, but there might be some of you who don't know me or watching this later and don't know me yet. My name is Jackie. I am the program director for YPU program in Hidalgo County with Behavioral Health Solutions. We do prevention, intervention, and treatment. And if you don't know, Behavioral Health Solutions is a nonprofit agency. We're located out of FAR, and we have services coming from 19 different counties. So if you're in FAR, if you're in Cameron, all the way up, we have services. So while I'm talking, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I can see your comments coming in. I will do my best to answer everything. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to find out for you, or somebody else will. Like I said, first of all, we are very understanding of the situation going on with the outbreak of COVID-19. We understand everybody's frustrations. We understand that this has come with a lot of hardships. Most of us are working from home. I'm coming from my home today. We all have families, so we know that there's a lot of stress going on right now. And that's kind of what I wanted to target with this video, is some healthy ways to deal with stress. We do miss being in the community. We miss seeing you all face to face. Hopefully we'll get back to that very soon. But we have been working very diligently to bring you guys the services that you need and still want through our virtual platforms. We're still offering presentations. We are still trying to give you guys some activities, some tips and tricks and things that you guys can do with your families at home. We're trying to do as much as we can to bring you those services. So if there is any presentations you want that are that we can do virtually, please reach out to us and we'll try to set that up for you. We're still trying to reach out to our schools. We know they're doing distance learning, so we're trying to bring them our services as much as possible too, because we know the kids are missing us. We're missing our students and stuff like that. So we're doing everything that we can. But with this video, I'm going to try to help you guys reduce some of the stress that has come along with the coronavirus. Maybe some of the stress you're feeling working at home. Maybe some of you are out of work. Maybe some of you are having other kinds of changes that, have brought stress with all of this. The times are uncertain. We don't know how long a lot of this stuff is going to last. But what we can do is focus on now and focus on what we can do to kind of feel better, at least for the moment in this time. So today we're talking a little bit about mindfulness. If you don't know what mindfulness is, let me bring up all of my points that I want to mention before we get into some practices. Mindfulness is a state of mind where you're completely present in the moment. You are completely aware of what you're doing. You are fully focused, right? We're present in that moment. We're fully focused in that moment. If we are, if we are with our kids and we're trying to play with them outside, but we're focused on what's going on our phone, we're not being mindful in that moment. We're not enjoying that moment as it is. Another example is, let's say you go to get a massage. You're trying to do something to relax, but in the meantime, you're thinking about what you have to do at work, what you have to do at home, what are you going to cook for dinner? You're not being mindful, right? So we want to be present in every moment as much as possible. And this takes practice. We're not trained to do this all the time because as humans, we have so many other things going on, right? And right now we're in a state of stress. Things are different. Things have changed. Our normal right now is not what we're used to. So we are probably even less mindful right now than we normally are. But we're going to practice some things and we're going to talk about some tips and tricks that you can do. Some of the stuff I'm going to show you is free, things you don't need any supplies for. Some you might have supplies at home. Everything I'm going to show you is stuff that you can probably just grab at Walmart if you're out getting your toilet paper and your water and essential needs, things like that. But like I said, you don't have to purchase anything to practice. You can practice with what you have and just your mind. One of the things that I notice a lot as a prevention specialist is that oftentimes I'm in the school around the time when kids get picked up. I will see the parents waiting for them, and they're on their phone and stuff. The kids come out and parents still stay on their phone. They do not put their phone down. They do not ask, how was your day? They're walking, not even really paying attention to their child walking next to them who just spent a whole day at school. We don't know how their day went. We don't know, what they've been through that day. This is not being very mindful. Putting down our phone is one of the tips that I'm going to give you guys, especially right now. There is so much stuff coming through on our Facebook feeds, hopefully good stuff like what you're seeing right now. But there is stuff that is not so good too. There is a lot of things being put out there that are, putting doubts in our mind or putting fear in our mind. Our kids as well. If our kids are on social media, whatever that social media is, a lot of the stuff right now is about the virus. And at all times too, this is something that we should practice. We should be putting these devices down, getting off social media, being more mindful of these moments. Guys, if you have ever experienced, if you have kids, that you feel like they're a baby 1 minute and a few minutes later, it seems like they're already a teenager. These moments in time pass by so fast. It is something that we need to be mindful of and realize that once that's gone, once that year is gone, once those 2 years are gone, 3 years, it's gone. You don't get it back. So if we spend that time on our phones or spend that time, just checking out what's going on Instagram, we're missing out. So that is one of the first and easiest mindful tips that I can give you. And it's something I think we all know in the back of our minds, but I think we have a harder time practicing it. But it's something we need to be more aware of. Let me see. So why is it important? And a lot of people think this isn't that important. I'm just going to do me and I'm going to do what I need to do and it's working out fine. But the mindfulness is important. Research has shown that meditation and mindfulness practices can help with a wide variety of issues, from depression, anxiety, and it can actually help with trying to avoid harmful substances, right? Many people who are in recovery practice mindfulness tips and tricks because it helps them to cope with staying away from drugs and alcohol. So I am going to give you guys some facts about some of the mindfulness practices that I'm going to show you today. But mindfulness is a protective factor. If you don't know what a protective factor is, a protective factor is something that, it's a condition. Protective factors are conditions or attributes, strengths, resources, supports, coping mechanisms, all of these things for individuals or families that put you at less risk of getting involved with drugs and alcohol. So we know that mindfulness is a protective factor. We want to practice these healthy coping so that we don't fall into unhealthy or dangerous coping mechanisms. How many times do you hear someone say, they're really stressed out, they need to go outside and smoke, or they've had a really hard week, they need a drink, right? That is their coping mechanism. So if we practice some of these other healthy coping mechanisms, it might eliminate the need for some of that. So the next tip I'm going to give you guys is about breathing practices. People hear that and they're like, okay, what are you going to teach me about breathing? Like, we know how to do this, right? We wake up and we breathe on our own. We're breathing in our sleep, something that we all know how to do if we're alive. But I'm talking about different types of breathing. I'm talking about belly breathing. And this is just a more deep breathing, breathing in and out. taking deep breaths and releasing them in different patterns so that you are focusing on the breath, right? And we'll practice some of these in a little while, but I just wanted to mention certain ways that we can do these. Something I didn't know was that you can literally Google breathing exercises, just Google breathing exercises, and a little box will pop up with a breathing exercise on it that will kind of go in and out and guide you in a breathing practice. So it's that simple. There are other ways. There are tons of GIFs or GIFs, I don't know what you call them, that's debatable, right? But you can look these up or go to Pinterest there and just put in breathing exercises, and you're going to find all of these exercises that guide you again in breathing in and out in a manner that will relax you. It will reduce anxiety. Breathing is a form of meditation, and so that's why it works, right? There is also other things that you can do if you have an Apple Watch. Like I have here, there is actually an app on here. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick and show you guys. I'm gonna take it off so I can show you. And you can even set it up to remind you. But if you look on here, let me pull it out a little bit. This little circle going in and out will guide you. So and it kind of taps on your wrist and it guides you in breathing exercises. This is probably my favorite feature on my watch. And it does remind me at times where I think it picks up on your heart rate and stuff, and it will kind of tap on your wrist and tell you to breathe. I'm not sure, I'm guessing, I don't know if anybody out there knows, but if Android has something like this, I'm pretty sure they do. But this will guide you in a breathing exercise for about a minute. And it's really helpful, and it does relax you. Sometimes I actually tap it again and I feel like I need an extra minute, and I'll use this throughout the day. Sometimes I'm really stressed out. I don't even realize how stressed out I am. And then this thing taps on my wrist and tells me like, hey, you know what, chick, you need to breathe. And so that's what I do. I use this. And then it'll guide you for about a minute, and then it'll stop. Right. So this is really helpful. If you know if there's one for Android, you can comment and let me know. I'm not sure. But again, something you can look up on your phone, you can look up on your computer. So Martha says she has a Fitbit and it has the breathing feature. So we know Fitbit has it. Again, we're at our desk, we're at our office. You can literally just Google breathing exercise and this will come up. So abdominal breathing or belly breathing for 20 to 30 minutes a day can reduce anxiety and reduce stress. Deep breathing increases the supply of oxygen to your brain, and it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, and this is what promotes calmness. So while we think that this is not really a big deal or something that might not help so much, we know that this actually can. So that one is probably one of my favorite tips for you guys because it's free. It's easy to do. Again, you don't need anything, and I'm going to show you other ways to do it towards the end that we can practice without even having to look up anything on our phone, look up anything on our computer, and we can still get some breathing exercises in. Hopefully you guys will stick around to the end so you can join me for that. Another tip is yoga. I know people hear yoga and they think like, why would I want to do yoga? Like I'm too old for that, or I'm too, I like to do hard workouts. And right now, of course, yoga studios are closed, but something to know is that you can do yoga free. There are several different YouTube videos. I know there's one called Yoga with Adriene, and there's one called Fight Master Yoga, and these provide free videos through YouTube of yoga practices, and they do start for beginners. And so this is something you can do at home. You can do with your kids, you can do with your spouse, your parents. You can start it very simple and then, take it further if a studio, opens up later on and you're interested. Yoga is something that is another type of meditation. This is a mind and body practice, combines the mind and body together. You use physical poses, controlled breathing, meditation, or relaxation. And again, yoga reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and can lower your heart rate. And again, it's something that almost anyone can do. This is not a hardcore exercise that, you know, requires a lot of strength, or, I mean, of course you do need strength because you do hold yourself in poses, but it's not something as opposed to like CrossFit where it's a little bit more hardcore, right? And if yoga is not something you are interested in, you can do walking or jogging or any type of exercise really. But even just walking, 20 to 30 minutes, several times a week can alleviate stress, give your mind a boost. Walking does release stress busting endorphins. So just walking 20 minutes a day, maybe 3 days a week, can help to reduce stress. Of course, if you're doing this now, you do have to practice social distancing. In some counties, you have to wear a mask, stay 6 feet away from people, but this is something you can do close to home. Just go outside. Again, you don't need to buy anything. And the more brisk you walk, or the faster you walk, the more you will, you work your heart out a little bit. So it is a good cardiovascular exercise if you do tend to walk a little bit faster. Walking also does, tend to reduce depression, and, reduce those stress hormones. So a lot of times people start walking and they start to lose weight. And it's, you know, it doesn't make too much sense because they're thinking, well, I'm only walking a couple times a week. How am I losing weight? But there's a stress hormone that causes us to gain weight or keep weight on. So reducing that hormone can actually help us to lose weight. So even just walking a couple times a week, we reduce that hormone, and it can cause some weight loss. The next one is meditation. So, meditation is a technique that is encouraged to heighten your state of awareness, and focus your attention, right? So when you see someone meditating, it really looks like they're doing nothing, but they're really in their mind just focusing their attention. And you can use different methods to meditate. Again, I did not buy anything for this. These are all things that I just had at home. You can use a book, something like this, that has mandalas to focus your attention on. Let me see, where is it? And so something like this is people use to meditate. You can sit down, you can lie down, you just kind of sit still and comfortably, right? Close your eyes. You make no effort to control your breath. You're not doing breathing exercises during meditation. You're just breathing at your normal pace. But you're focusing on it. You're focusing on that inhaling and focusing on that exhaling. These types of things help people to focus because it puts their attention in one spot, right? If closing their eyes, you know, does not allow them to focus, this might. Okay. I'm hoping you guys are still there. Are you guys still there? Because a phone call came in. I had to cancel it out. Can someone let me know that you're still with me? Anybody? Yes. Okay. You're still with me. Good. I don't know how to make people not call me during this, so I was just making sure. So anyways, something like this is really good. Again, you can pick some stuff up like this once stores open at some place like Ross or TJ Maxx, and these help if you're just starting to practice meditation. But you're focusing on your breath. You're not thinking about work. You're not thinking about what you have to do later. You're not thinking about what you have to cook. You are just focusing on that breathing in and out. And again, this can help you to focus your attention in one spot, right? So you do not need this. If you are going to start practicing meditation, you can do it on your own. Sometimes it helps to sit in a corner, face a wall. That way you're not, you don't catch the attention of anything else going around you. But meditation is definitely a good way of relieving stress. Another one is reading. Reading sounds like it can be boring. I know a lot of people do not like to read. I hear that a lot. I personally love to read. But one reason I think people don't like to read is they associate reading with the reading they did in school, or reading that they've had to do for either work or some type of studies that, you know, they were kind of forced to do. But if you read something that you're really interested in, it's very different. You can pick up a book that you are not able to put down. And I know that I read reading has actually been proven as a better stress relief than listening to music. Some people feel like listening to music helps, but it's proven that reading is actually better at reducing stress than listening to music. It can relax your body by lowering your heart rate. It eases the tension in your muscles. And there was a study that showed that reading reduces stress by 68%. So that's quite a bit. And again, reading is something that's easy. It's cheap. You can download free books on your phone. You can pick up a book at, at the store. Me and my friends like to exchange books. I'll read something and then we'll kind of switch off. Or if I just have something in my library, they can borrow it. So that is something else. And then we have knitting. So knitting or crocheting. And I know people hear this and they're thinking like, I'm not going to learn how to knit. Like, I do not know how to knit. But let me tell you, it is a lot easier than you think now. There are tons of videos that can teach you how to do it. Depression relief is the most reported benefit that has come from knitting. So people are doing this as a way to reduce stress, right? I personally do like to knit. I have some regular yarn here that you can use the little the needles with. But if you feel like this might be too hard or something you can't do, there are these types of yarn now that come out with little loops, and there's videos too. You can actually look them up. It gives you the website on there, that you can knit using no needles. All you use is your hands. I had a blanket here. Let me find it really quick. Okay, so I made, out of that, I had made this little blanket for my baby. And it's really simple. It's really easy to learn. So whether you choose to use the needle, right here, you can see I am working on something, but this one's a little bit, this one is a little bit harder. But you really, you physically feel stress relief with these things. You're focusing your attention on one thing, and that's mindfulness, right? So there is that. There's another one that you're going to be surprised. This is something you can do with your kids. This is something I've been doing every day with my baby. She's 2. So we have been blowing bubbles. Now, if you think about it, what do we do? What do we do to blow bubbles, right? We're breathing. We're breathing, and we're doing it over and over again. So this is kind of a little technique that you can do with your kids. And it is something you can take them outside. I know my baby looks forward to it every day. She brings me, it's always around 4 or 5 o'clock. She'll come to me with one of these and she'll shout bubbles for about 20 minutes until I take her outside. So that does encourage those muscles in our belly to do that type of breathing in and out, right? We take a breath, we take a deep breath, and we blow out those bubbles. So if you're outside with your kids for a little while, it's very relaxing. It's surprising how relaxing it is just to go outside and blow bubbles. I have one more to share with you guys. I know we're getting to about 30 minutes, but I have a few more things to show you guys. And this one is something you can do with your kids also. Actually, all of these you can really do with your kids. But this one they tend to find fun. And I find this one really fun. These are adult coloring books. So the thing with these is that when you see the pictures in here that are meant to color, they look very detailed. And some people say they cause more stress when they see them than actually they had before. But I'm going to tell you that if you try this, you will not regret it. Okay, so here's an example of what one of the pages would look like. When I first saw this, I thought, no way, I am not going to be able to do this. Looking at this is giving me stress. But I tried it, and Actually, little personal story, someone who I know that was quitting smoking actually introduced me to these, and he was using it and I did not believe that they would work, and he made me try it, and I loved it. So here is an example of how one might look. This is one that I did when it's complete. Okay. You can use pencils, so you can use regular colored pencils for these. You can use some little, like, more fancier fine tip pens. This is what I like to use, or colored pencils. The one I just showed you guys that I did was colored pencils. The thing with this, here's another one I started, but I have not finished. The thing with this is that you're focusing on what you're doing. You're focusing on all these little, spaces, and you're not thinking about other stuff. It is very relaxing once you get started. I promise you. Do not be intimidated. Also, if you don't have these, pick up a coloring book with your kids. You know, your kids probably have coloring books. If you have a printer, you can print out a sheet of these. There's tons of free printouts online. You don't have to buy a book. Again, these are books that I already had. I didn't buy anything. Something else, if coloring is not your thing, that I really like to do is practice like calligraphy. I actually have a book for that also. I have a book for everything here. So I have a little calligraphy book. You can pick these up in Target, different places. And it teaches you how to write calligraphy. And then I just really like kind of writing with different markers and stuff like that. You can buy some little books that just have black paper like this and write with silver markers. These are things, again, that help you focus on what you're doing, and kind of help you to practice mindfulness. The last one that I have is pretty simple, and it is this soothing dough. So this one is scented. It is lavender scented, and I kind of keep this next to my bed. This is basically Play-Doh for adults. And it's just that lavender scent, that kind of smelling it relaxes me before I go to sleep. If you think about this, think about your kids. What do they like to do? Play with Play-Doh, make slime. Maybe we can do that in another video, is make slime, because it is a stress reliever. This one is a little bit doughy. It's not like slime, so I can put it in my hand and kind of like just squeeze it and relieve some stress. So those are just a few things I have for you guys. I am going to practice a breathing exercise with you guys. One that does not require getting online, one that does not require a watch. And so we're going to practice it together. I hope that you guys will practice along with me. This one is actually really relaxing. And this is going to promote that belly breathing that we talked about. Okay. So if you are at home, wherever you are, I'm just going to ask that you just kind of sit still, just relax. I'm going to walk you through the breathing. So, practice along. This is something you can do with your kids. If your kid's throwing a tantrum or they're upset, if you've ever flown with a kid who is getting a little antsy, these things can help. So the first one we're going to do is just, we're going to breathe in for 4. We're going to hold it for 4. Then we're going to breathe out for 4. So I will count for you guys. I can't see you if you're doing it, but just try it. Okay. So, if you want to, you can close your eyes. That usually helps a little bit. I'm not going to close my eyes, because I'm here on camera, but, let's try it together. Okay. So we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. Let's do it again. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. When you breathe out, really push that air out for that count of 4. Let's try it again. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. One more time. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. Push it out for 4. So does anybody notice what that breathing kind of reminds you of? That rhythm that we were following, the breathing in, holding, and breathing out? I want to see if anybody can kind of guess what that reminded them of. Anybody? So I don't see any comments on what it reminds you of, but if you've ever known someone or you yourself have smoked, that's kind of the same pattern that a smoker follows. They breathe in or inhale, they hold it, and then they breathe out, right? They inhale that smoke. This tip or this breathing exercise has actually been proven to help people quit smoking, because it's actually that breathing pattern that they feel relaxing them. It's not actually the cigarette relaxing them. So this pattern of breathing can help them to feel that relaxation that they think they're getting from smoking. So that's just a little little thing to think about. It could I see some people saying like Lamaze or delivery, like breathing. Maybe, I don't know. To me, kind of having kids, you put all breathing exercises out the window. But smoking. So if you think about it, the smoking, that pattern kind of can resemble that. So we're going to try another one. This one is one that I have taught my kids to use at school. And this is one that I learned in a training on mindfulness, actually, and I really like it, and it's something that has helped them. So we just use our hand, right? We don't need anything else. We're going to breathe up, down, in, out, right? So the up is in and the down is out, okay? And we'll try this one a few times, okay? So breathe in, out, in, out. Okay, we're going to try it one more time, going back. All right, so hopefully that you guys feel a little bit of relaxation from the breathing tips we did. I think that practicing these, especially in a time like right now when there's so much anxiety, can really help us. I'm just reading some of the comments. It tickles his yeah, so it might, that's so cute that he says it tickles. I know my older daughter in high school, she uses that one a lot. And, if they're a little bit older, they don't have to, sit there and trace their hand like that, but just kind of think about the pattern of going up and down, kind of can let them to think about breathing in and out. Again, you can just use a simple, thing like your watch, or just do it on your own and practice the counting. I really like the first one we did where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4. That one really relaxes me. That one is something that I also like to use at night if I've had a very stressful day before bed. Again, guys, these times have been stressful for everybody. We do understand. If there is anything that we can do for you guys, if you are, looking for presentations, or if there's another topic of an activity that you guys might want to see, please reach out to us. Let us know. Leave comments. Continue to follow us on Facebook. You can share these videos. If you have any other suggestions also, go ahead and leave those in the comments too. I thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that you guys got something from this. I feel like I gave you a bunch of tips. I hope you use some of them, if not more than one. And hopefully we'll see all of you guys really soon.